Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I wanted to address and give my opinion on this whole concern that's rising from the gaming community about these companies creating monopolies in gaming market and how all these creative studios and outlets being housed under one umbrella is not a good thing for the community in general. And I would agree to that to some extent, yes. What I feel is gaming has become far too economically sustainable and mainstream, with the large portion of the population being heavily invested and interested in gaming and gaming products like consuming gaming journalism, streaming content, esports, or even the games itself. So it's almost a no-brainer for any player in this capitalistic market of ours to not give in to this rush of supply and demand and then not fight for a majority of the pie. So yeah, I feel this is the intended and expected direction that the games industry is going to go in. I definitely agree, it's not a good thing, but there isn't much you can do about it. A company with a huge amount of resources is bound to gobble up smaller entities. And you can see a very similar parallel existing in the TV industry. All kinds of major media publications and news and TV channels are kind of operated and run by a few conglomerates. So this is a very similar phenomenon that's happening in the games industry. You also have to remember that a company doesn't invest money in mergers and acquisitions for just a short-term plan. It's always the long-term plan that they're kind of foreseeing, and that's why they're investing money in all of these M&A initiatives. For Microsoft, it's all about having the benefit for the end consumers to stick to their ecosystem because their favorite IPs or favorite brands are on their platform. It's the harsh truth that you cannot buy consumers, but you can definitely buy somebody's nostalgia, love, and memories. And that is what Microsoft is doing right now. For Microsoft or any other corporation right now, the most lucrative market is to tap into the under 20 age demographic. Even though it occupies only 20% or so of the market, in a decade, these people will have access to more funds and will be occupying a bigger portion of the market. And they would have grown up knowing about gaming properties like Call of Duty, Warzone, and all such big IPs. And that is what they recognize and associate gaming with. And Microsoft buying and acquiring them is just an investment in that direction to keep these people hooked onto their ecosystem. Our current generation of gamers who grew up on retail box copies of games on market shelves is just not an appealing market for these companies anymore. That's why they want to invest in a total digital-only future. And these acquisitions are just to get permanent licenses to the IPs for their own platform. Permanent acquisitions of all these big licenses will allow these companies to distribute and stream games on their own platform without getting into any kind of legal trouble. They want these permanent licenses to distribute and stream all these big recognizable brands on their platform. Just like how Disney won't allow Netflix to distribute and stream Marvel properties anymore. If you think about how digital sales have accumulated almost 40% of the total sale volume, and every big gaming hardware manufacturer has a digital-only SKU which is flying off the market shelves, and a company like Microsoft gives full investment backing to a project like xCloud, then I think it's safe to assume that it's in the company's MO to make game distribution their priority and getting these recognizable brands direct to consumers as fast as possible. This is only to make the profit turnaround time super quick because they can get a product from the company to the consumer much quicker if it's a digital-only future. And that just goes to show that it's a very small ticking phase of physical being irrelevant in a few years. Now, to come to the other final argument where people say that this is all doom and gloom for the industry and this is going to dry up gaming creativity, to that I would say no. Even in 50 years from now, I can guarantee you that there's going to be a small market for experimental, creative, artistic game design projects and game publishing projects. This is because in every industry, there's going to be some section of outsiders and free thinkers who like to challenge the mainstream. These are the people who exist to pick up the pieces when corporate-led projects fail to drive innovation. We have seen this time and again in television, movie, and even in books. There's always going to be a small creative and artistic voice in every industry. The more important question is, will you stick around to hear these voices in a decade when they start becoming a little bit fainter? It's going to be a much difficult ask to go around and hunt for these voices in a few years from now. Thank you for watching another video. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I know this whole conversation around gaming corporations and gaming companies trying to acquire and merge with other big corporations is of almost no use to the end consumer. But I think the discourse is still important. Let me know what your thoughts are about this topic, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.